Thank you everyone for joining us. We will be holding this workshop for 30 minutes. If you have to leave at 30 minutes, we understand. But if you have any questions after we are done with the presentation, we will stay on and answer your questions. My name is Debbie Bushman. I am the Lunch Pail Coordinator with Pinellas County Schools. Joining me is my co-host, Michelle Roberge. She's going to wave to everyone. If hopefully you can see her. She will be helping me navigate this meeting. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat and she will let me know, and hopefully we will be able to answer them as we go through the presentation. If not, we will do it at the end of the meeting. We are recording this, so thank you everyone for joining. This is our Zoom 2.0 workshop. So a couple of reminders for those of you who have already started mentoring. Our weekly sessions are virtual for 30 minutes each week. There's no contact outside of school, no social media contact, no texting, sharing emails or anything like that. All contact will be through the liaison at your school. So if you need to contact them to let them know that you can't make a meeting, please contact the liaison and they will let the student know. We do ask that you stay flexible with technology and the different platforms we're using. There tends to always be some kind of technical difficulty, whether it's a slow internet connection, your computer's not working, something happens. Please be patient. Maybe the students' cameras aren't working or the microphones don't work, so please be patient. And hopefully you can work through that issue quickly. We ask that you look for reminders from your liaisons, and if you're able to, put them on your calendar. That way you'll get reminders of your upcoming sessions. And if you do not hear from the liaison, please contact myself or Michelle Roberge, and she will share our emails in the chat. And then at the end of the presentation, we will also have our emails that you can take down and email us. There will be no face-to-face meeting this semester. All mentor sessions are virtual. So these are a list of schools that do not have liaisons at this time. So if you see your school on this list, contact myself or Michelle and we can maybe give you an update on what's going on, if they're in the process of hiring, or if they're not going to have liaison. And we do also have some schools who are, we don't have listed, who are not doing virtual mentoring. So if you have not heard from your school and you're not sure if there's even virtual mentoring, again, please email myself or Michelle. So one of the things, hopefully many of you guys have already attended our Zoom 1.0 workshop, and we kind of went over the basics of sharing your screen with your student. And we're going to kind of briefly touch on that quickly, but what we learned from that workshop is make sure that you have your application that you want to use open prior to meeting with your students. So if you want to share something, a website or a YouTube video, have that up, test it before you join your meeting, and make sure that you have audio and that it's quickly accessible. Close down any other applications. That way, when you go to share your screen, you're not trying to figure out what application you're going to be sharing. You have open only what you want to use. If it's a picture, a website, have those open and then shut down everything else. They can be a distraction, especially if they're emails and you get notifications and you see little pop-up messages. So if you have started meeting with your student, you notice when you're joining Zoom that you all come into a main room and then you're put into a breakout room. So on the left is an example of everyone joining the meeting, kind of like what we're doing today. And then the liaison sets up breakout rooms, and then you're moved into that breakout room shortly after your student and you join. And that's what it looks like over on the right. So it's you and your student. And at some point during that meeting, you might have the liaison who pops in. And if you notice up at the top of that right-hand picture, it says Tiffany Simpson. That most likely is the liaison. She's got her camera off, she's got her microphone off, she's not coming in to interrupt your meeting, but just trying to, just checking in, and then she's gonna pop right back out. So this is what a breakout room looks like. You're gonna be able to see yourself and whoever you are in the breakout room. And this is me and Michelle. And you can move those icons, the videos around. You can play with the view options, and you can do just where you see whoever's speaking, and it will highlight. As you notice, if you look around my video, my box has a green light around it. That means I'm currently speaking. So you can highlight, you'll know who's speaking at that moment. So one of the things I wanted to share with you guys is the quality of video that you have when you're using a smartphone versus a PC. So my picture on the left, I am using my smartphone. Right now I'm on my laptop. You can see that the video quality isn't as crisp on a laptop or PC. Michelle's on a PC on that right picture, and then my picture is just a little more clear. So if you're able to use a smartphone, it does give you a better video quality when you do that. So just going over some brief things that we went on the Zoom 1.0 workshop is the toolbar. So all of you have this toolbar on your PC or your smartphone. If you're on a smartphone, you're going to tap your screen and it will pop up. So this is what it looks like. You have the microphone, and that's where you can mute and unmute yourself. You have the start video that looks like a little camera. If you click on that, you will be able to turn off your camera. So if you guys all want to test that, if you tap on it, you can turn off your camera, and all that will show is just your name. You're going to have a black screen and just your name when you sign into and I see a couple of y'all doing that. That's awesome. You can test that out. You also have some that we'll go over in a few minutes on how to access virtual backgrounds and filters. On this toolbar, you also see the green icon that says share screen. That is where you will be able to share your screen with your student. And then you have an icon that looks like a happy face, and that's reactions. If you guys want to try that out, if you have you've updated your Zoom updates, you will have several different icons. You will have a happy face, you will have a heart. I see someone did a wow face. You will have clapping hands and a thumbs up. You guys can try that. And that is something that you can do when you're in a Zoom presentation. If you're in a presentation and you like what the speaker's saying, you can use the clap hands. I see several of you doing those icons. Awesome. So when you share your screen, you are going to click on that share screen. If you see my mouse over here, you're going to click on that share screen, and this window is going to pop up, and it is your select a window of the application that you want to share. And right now I'm going to click on select or screen one. I have 3 screens typically that I am able to use at one time. Right now I'm just using my laptop. So as you can see, you will select the screen that you want to share. If you're sharing a video, you're going to go down to this bottom left-hand corner and select share sound. And then you're going to, after you select that, click on share, and that will pop up your share screen. So right now I am currently sharing my screen, which is my PowerPoint presentation. So as soon as I click that share button, it might take just a few seconds to load up, and then the other person will be able to see that. Right now, you guys are actually seeing my screen. So we did an example. I opened up a Google Maps browser, and I selected a place on Google Maps. I chose Athens, and I literally am able to look at the actual location, and I selected over here. If you see in this bottom left-hand corner of my picture, there's a little yellow guy. That guy is usually underneath these plus or minus buttons over on the right-hand corner. If you click on him, you can drag that little man on Google Maps to a specific location that you would like to go to, and you can actually see the actual location. So I could take you to, I can look up the school, the high school or something like that. But if you wanted to share something with your student, say they're doing something in social studies and they're studying a specific country, you can go to that country on Google Maps. So this is an example of what that would look like. So again, this is what the share screen, if you guys can see what that looks like. So when you want to stop sharing your screen, you're going to hover over the toolbar, which actually when you're sharing your screen pops up to the top many times of your Zoom window. And if you hover over it with your mouse, tap it with your finger, that toolbar will drop down, and that's where your microphone icon is, your stop video, and your stop sharing. So I'm going to move this for a second. So video, background, and filters. We are hovering over again, and you guys can all do this with me. Over on where your video icon is, there's a little arrow. If you click on that arrow, this window will come up and it says select a camera. And on the different options, you can choose a virtual background or choose video filter. So if you click on one of those, this window opens up and you have the option to select a virtual background or virtual filters. Now, a lot of times if you're using the basic Zoom features, you may only have a couple of options that they've loaded up for your video backgrounds. From there, you can upload new backgrounds on your screen. So right now, I'm going to show you what it looks like if I change my background, and you can do it while you're in the middle of your meeting. So I had a Christmas one that I was using earlier in the year. So as simple as clicking that filter or that background, you can change your virtual background. So if you have some distractions in the background that you want to eliminate, use your virtual backgrounds. If you want to, not show where you're at, video backgrounds are good. Right now I'm doing none. I can select a beach scene. This is a picture that I took and I uploaded to my virtual backgrounds. And there is a little plus icon where your virtual backgrounds are. You can add pictures and you can choose whatever you want. So if you're doing video filters, I can change my video filter as well. So I can throw this filter on, I can change what it looks like, I can change so I have more light or different settings. I'm going to turn that off and I'm going to remove my backgrounds. And as simple as that, even while I'm talking, you can do that. So if you guys want to try that out while I'm going through this presentation, please feel free. I can't see if anyone has tried it out because you guys are over to my side because of my presentation. But from this area right here, from that toolbar, you can do all of those changes. And I think we went over using reactions. Like I said, on the newer updated, if you have newer updated Zoom, you've got the hand clap, thumbs up, a heart. And if you haven't tried it, go ahead and you can try it again. So let's have everyone do at least the thumbs up. Let's see if everyone's able to use that feature. Awesome. I see Michelle. I see Priscilla doing it. Colleen. Awesome. This is awesome. And like I said, you can do this throughout the presentation. If you're in a presentation and you like what someone's saying, definitely give them a hand clap. It helps the presentation be a little more interactive. So if you're using a smartphone, the settings look a little different. And I wanted to share that with some of you who might be on a cell phone at this moment. So when you tap on your screen, this is what comes up. Your toolbar is down here at the bottom. Your share screen button still is that green icon and it looks green. You're going to select over here, a pop-up window will show up on what you would like to, the options that you have. So you can share your screen, you can share your photos, you can go to your iCloud Drive, your Microsoft OneDrive. So you have many different options. But like I mentioned earlier, you do want to make sure that the application is open in the background. That way it goes to it immediately. If you, and once you do that, it will take you to your screen. Over here on the right on your smartphone will be 3 little dots that say more, and that will give you the option to go into your meeting settings, your virtual background. So it's going to look a little different to what we just showed you, like if you were on a laptop or desktop. The meeting settings will be over here. You can access those virtual backgrounds from your cell phone just by clicking on the virtual background as well. And over here on the left, we have, if you go into your meeting settings, you can set up certain things which you really won't have to worry about when you're meeting with your student. Again, on your smartphone, if you want to see who's attending the meeting, what you do is you click on that participants little icon. It looks like 2 little people together. When you click on that, this is where you can rename yourself from your cell phone. So you will see that I clicked on that participants button and this window popped up and it shows how many people who are in the meeting. So I test my meetings. I go in, I join from a cell phone and I join from a laptop. And if you click and hover over yourself, you will be able to come up with the options where it will show you where you can rename yourself, and that's where you can rename yourself from your cell phone. So this is what it looks like if you're on your cell phone. You click on that and a little window will open up and you can actually change your name. So if you guys wanted to try that, you can do that. You can also do that from your desktop just by hovering over your picture, and in the top corner, right-hand corner, are 3 little dots. And what will happen is a pop-up window will come up, and down it on the bottom, it should say rename. If you click on that, you can rename yourself. So if you, I see someone's using the filters. This is awesome. They looks like Tony's got a beret on her head. That's awesome. On your rename yourself, if say you have a last name and you're meeting with your student and it's just difficult for them to pronounce, you can just put Miss Tony can put Miss Tony or Miss Christine. So you guys can change that. That's where you can go in and change that. So if you guys want to test that out, go ahead and do that. So I do want to go over Whiteboard. So this is an opportunity for you to, it's almost like a chalkboard, but it's a whiteboard. You know, a lot of times you have people who use the whiteboards and use the dry erase markers. You can do that with your student, and it's got some great options. So if you again select on share screen, you're going to select that share screen, that select a window or application will pop up, and over to the right, you will see the option for a whiteboard. You're going to click on that, and when you click on that, it's going to highlight in blue, and that means this is what's going to be shown when you share your screen with your student. And then you go down to that right-hand corner, click share, and then the whiteboard will pop up. And I will do that with you guys just to kind of give you an example of what that looks like. And I'm going to do that real quick here. I'm going to go to my whiteboard. I'm going to share it. And right now, you guys see my whiteboard. Does everyone see that? If you can do a thumbs up visually or with your reactions, that would be awesome. All right, you guys can see my whiteboard. So from here, if you guys hover over the top of your screen, you will see a option for annotate. On that annotate will, if you click on it, this little, I don't, you guys can't see it, but and I have a picture of what it looks like. You guys can type on here. So I can type something, I can type on here, I can draw on here as well. I'm going to draw something. You can play tic-tac-toe with your student. So if you wanted, I see that Sheila is drawing something on my whiteboard. So you guys can draw, everyone can, guys can play tic-tac-toe with your student if you want to go over some math problems, or if they have spelling words that that they can practice, you could do it here on this whiteboard. You have the option to clear all drawings. I can clear my drawing, we'll just eliminate my drawings, or I can clear everyone's drawing and then we just reset. So I'm going to stop sharing my whiteboard. I'm going to go back to my presentation. All right, so everyone should see my PowerPoint presentation. And this is that annotate toolbar that I was talking about, where you can select text, draw, stamp, spotlight. So the spotlight, if you click on that, you can click on the little wand and it will highlight your mouse so the student knows what you're pointing at. To clear the screen, you go to the little trash can and the icon will open up to, let me go back, to clear your drawings, your students' drawings, or just clear the whole board. So you can use that whiteboard option with your student. It's a great option to use to, like I said, if they're having trouble with some math, if they would like some help with, might be some, you can use this whiteboard option. And that is the end of our presentation for the functions of Zoom. So this is the opportunity for everyone if you have any questions, you can ask them right here. Our emails are over here, and Michelle will put those also in the chat so that you can copy and paste them. We have resources on our website that you can go to. If you go to pcsb.org/mentor.resource, we've got activities for you guys. We have conversation starters. We have activities that are based age-based. So we have elementary, middle school, and high school. We have lots of resources for you guys that you can use, and they're something that will help enhance your meeting with your student and hopefully create a positive meeting with your student. If you're having trouble drawing conversation out of your student, check out the resources. We've got some great conversation starters, as well as we have a book that Michelle and I often talk about. I'm going to try and pull it out here. It's by Dr. Gregory Scott, and it is, I don't know if you guys can see that, it is the Kids Book of Questions. And this is a great book that you can use. I meet with a couple of students, and sometimes they're not very talkative. So I'm like, okay, give me a random number. They give me a number, I go to that page and I read the question, and then we have an opportunity to discuss that question. So here's one: what is the luckiest thing that ever happened to you? And then I give them an opportunity to share their answers, and then I share mine. So it's a great way to draw a conversation out of your students. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can see everyone's faces. I see a lot of you guys using different virtual backgrounds and filters. That is awesome. It looks like we have quite a few, got some conversation going on in the chat. Michelle, what kind of questions do we have?
So someone had asked if you can open up the whiteboard prior to the meeting to prepare it.
No, because you would have to be on Zoom. So you're going to, it is a function only when you are in Zoom.
Great. And someone wanted to know the name of the author for your book, and Gregory Stock, is that correct?
Yes, Dr. Gregory Stock. You can get it on Amazon. It's less than $10. It's a great book. One of my little guys, he's like, can we use that book? And he just likes the questions. And so I have him give me a random number and then I just pull a question. And, you know, some of them, you know, they might not be a question for elementary, but definitely good for middle school. And you can just find some questions and use it however you feel is going to be best.
So Michelle asked, does the Zoom link change for each session?
So that depends on your liaison. If she has set up a recurring meeting, you should be using the same link that she will send you, and it's going to be the same link every week. So I have a Zoom meeting that it's the same link, and it's in my calendar. I go to my calendar, and I've even created, so I have multiple reminders. I've taken the link from the email that the liaison has sent me, and I've created my own event, and I put it in the location. So that way I just click on that link and go directly to my meeting. There are some meetings, they might be a different link, but that's going to be dependent on your liaison.
Hopefully it will always be the same link, because
yes,
we want to
for
make it as
ease, yes,
easy for
yes,
you as
exactly.
possible.
Yep.
So Joanne asked, how do we add filters? Meaning, where do we get them?
If you don't have that option, so I recently updated my Zoom. I didn't have the filters. I only had the virtual background. So I have a free Zoom account, and from my free Zoom account, I was able to upload the updates from Zoom, and that's when that virtual filters appeared on my Zoom account. So you might not have it, and it might be because you haven't uploaded any updates from Zoom.
And if you look in the chat, Sheila Kane, who works in our department, she is one of our Zoom experts. She's also added a link on filters and backgrounds that can help you as well. So if you take your mouse and you see the link, you can just copy that link and you can paste it right into a browser, or put it on a document. Just put that link somewhere where you can easily click on it when you're done with this session to go to that particular article.
And if you would like more information on Zoom, you can go directly to Zoom's website. You don't have to have an account to look at their tutorials. They have some awesome videos. They have stuff that you can read. And what I did is I just opened up my Zoom account and just started watching those videos and then applying that, as well as YouTube. So many videos on YouTube. I've got two guys that I like to do, Kevin Stravert. If you just go into YouTube and do Zoom tutorials, you won't. There's too many to watch, actually. But the one guy, Kevin Stratford, he used to work for Microsoft, so he does Teams videos as well. He's a good one. And then there's a Dotto Tech, D-O-T-T-O Tech, T-E-C-H. He's got some great Zoom videos. And he started doing those. His wife was a teacher and went virtual, and so he started doing some virtual video tutorials on Zoom. So there's some great resources on YouTube that you can check out.
One thing that's really good about backgrounds is that if you have people that are in your home with you when you're doing a Zoom session, and if your back isn't up against a wall, using a virtual background is really helpful, so that it gives the student as well as yourself that idea that there's some privacy, because the last thing that you want is someone to be, taking a walk through your meeting and the students thinking, oh, can this person hear me? It can be really uncomfortable. Also, for our students who are still learning at home, it also, if they don't know how to do it, you can show them. Excuse me?
I don't know if that's my internet or Michelle's. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can
hear
Michelle,
Michelle,
but not Michelle.
Okay, she froze.
Okay, I think you were frozen. But anyways, you can also show the student how to put in a virtual background, because some of our students may not want you to see their home. They may not feel comfortable turning on their camera. So, you can have that kind of conversation. And as I think I put in the chat, it's also that using the filters are kind of fun. It kind of is used as like an icebreaker. So, and then let's see, Tony asked, can you put the 2 sources on YouTube in the chat? So, yep, Deb, can you put those
I
2 sources
will.
that use?
Yep.
I'll put them in the chat. But I
Yep.
can tell you, I have even done it. I saw someone say that we could save money by putting your own car filter in your car. So I just YouTubed, how do you put a car filter in your car? Oh my God, I just saved myself, let's see.
Oops, sorry about that.
$40. So yeah, I can actually I went to the store, bought a $20 air filter, and it goes right into your glove compartment. It was so easy, but I've been spending hundreds of dollars every, 6 months at the car dealer to do it. So YouTube is awesome. Just put it in the chat and be amazed how much stuff you could actually do on your own and save some money. Do we have any other
Also,
questions?
Just a little quick tip. If you go to the video feature on that video icon and you click on that arrow and you go to video settings, from there you can, there are some filters in there, like I can touch up my appearance so it can kind of make me look like, wow, I totally see everything. Or you can soften up your appearance and it's got a little toggle bar. You can go from there, you can adjust your lighting as well as a couple of different options that you can use. So from there, you have your settings window that pops up. You can work on your audio as well. There's in the newer Zoom updates, you can use one of the options to kind of reduce the background noise as well. So from there you can work, adjust your video and audio settings.
Actually, that's a really nice feature. I don't think I've ever clicked on that before the video settings, and it does.
It's amazing.
Additional light. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it's really good. Yeah.
That's Kevin Stratford. The link I just put in YouTube was for Kevin Stratford. I'll put his name in there. Let me see if I can copy the link address because he's got tons of videos on Microsoft Teams as well. There's his channel.
So Carrie just wants you to one more time, if you can just go over the video setting.
Sure. So I'm going to share my screen again so I can show you what it looks like. Okay. So if you click on that.
I think she's asking for the filters. Carrie, is that right? If you want to unmute yourself.
You can unmute yourself.
Okay, yeah. So it's not the share screen. Go down, keep going. So it's right there. So if where it says start video, if you click on that little arrow, and you can see right here in that first screenshot where it says video settings, that's where you can modify.
Well, she'll choose either the virtual background or virtual filter, and this pop-up window will come up for settings, and you're going to be on background and filters. And then she's going to select where my mouse is, video filters. If, like I mentioned earlier, if you do not have the updates, that option will not be there. You will only have the virtual backgrounds, and that's where you're going to have to upload the Zoom updates to get the newest features. And that will also update your reactions. So if you have just a thumbs up or the hand clap, that means you don't have the newest Zoom updates.
I also think, though, that she wanted to know where you could do the touch up for appearances and adjust the low light.
Yes, that would be in the video settings.
Right.
Yes. Yep.
And the other thing that I want to just mention, and I've been in webinars before, and someone will always say, especially the speaker, I'm going to leave my video on, but I'm going to turn it off so I can't see myself. Because sometimes I'll spend the whole time looking at what I look like instead of really paying attention to the person, because I don't, I want to see what I look like. I don't know why. It's just like a response thing. I don't know what
It
that's all
is,
about.
because
But anyways,
you're wanting to have, so like I'm looking at you guys, because you guys are on the
Right.
side of my computer. So when I'm sharing my screen, it moves all the video over to the side. You can drag and drop that window. I can move you guys so that it's right underneath my camera. So now I'm looking at my camera and then I'm looking directly at you guys. But when I'm doing a presentation, it kind of covers that up. So I move all the videos of you guys over to the side, and I have to work really hard to look at the camera. And so when you're talking with your student, it's important that you look at the camera
and not at yourself.
Not at yourself or even them, you know,
Right.
so you want to look at them, but when I'm meeting with my student, I move that video right underneath my camera. So that way it's a little bit more simpler to look at them.
Right. But I think in the video settings, you can actually shut off the mirror so that you're not seeing yourself, so that you're actually looking at your student, which I think, you know, becomes really important.
Yeah, if you actually hover over your image, your video in the three corners in the top right hand corner, you should have a window that pops up and it says hide self view. And what that's going to do, it's going to hide your view and it's only going to show your student's view. So like if I hid myself, I'm no longer going to see my video. I'm just going to see you guys. And then I'm going to go back and click on view and I'm going to unhide, I'm going to show myself again. But that's only on my end.
So only you can see it.
Correct.
So Ms. Hanson has a question.
Yes, I saw.
Kahila, you want to unmute yourself?
Thank you. Quick question. So, Ms. Debbie, you keep referencing a Zoom account. So I just wanted to clarify that from my learning because, like, you know how you guys send the link for Zoom?
Yes.
I just click on that and then it opens like a website. So I would need to actually create an account and then log in through that. Is that how it works?
It is.
Okay.
Yes. And so as you guys see, someone just shared their screen and then just turned it off. Yes. So everyone can open up a free Zoom account. You just need an email address and you go into Zoom and you create a free account. You can use that account to have meetings with your friends, family members. When you do Zoom sessions, you can start a Zoom session and invite people, but from that account, yes, that's where you will have a lot of these settings. If you have the free account, you only get 40 minutes for your sessions unless you have an EDU educational type email address. And then they give you, they kind of bypass that 40-minute time limit and give you options to have your meetings longer.
Okay, so when I'm meeting with my mentee, I would log into Zoom first, then click on the link that the liaison sent me. So then okay, got you.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
You don't
You
have
can
to do that,
actually
yeah.
you can just click right on the link and it will
Yep.
open up right to that meeting.
Right.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
I'll still get the fun features like what you guys have, because all I have is like backgrounds. I don't have any of like the dancing hats, and I see Miss Sheila has plants and Miss Karen has smiley faces. So I was trying to figure out how to get that integrated.
And that's by having that, you do have to have that Zoom account and update it. You might be able to update it if you have the app on your desktop.
Okay.
But I'd have to research that and I'll find an answer for you.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies.
You're welcome. I like Dr. David's glasses.
I did my hide self and now I can't get myself back.
So over in the right-hand corner, you should see something that says view.
Yeah.
And you'll click on that and that's where you will unhide yourself.
Okay.
Did that work? You
No,
click on,
speaker gallery, show self view. Okay.
yep, that's what you want to click on. And now you'll see yourself.
Thank you.
Awesome. You guys are going to be Zoom experts when you go into your mentor sessions. Do we have any other questions? Awesome. Thank you everyone for joining us and staying on with us. We appreciate